Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the final of NZSR Midget Development Series. We are coming to you live from Lanier Raceway, where at the moment the drivers are just in the drivers' briefing. So you can see them all there parked on the infield. We've just had a good solid 10-minute warm-up session before we got into this. And now I'm going to turn that off so that it doesn't interrupt me again. And we're off for the final of another season. This has flown past, and this is the last season for this year, I believe, for the development series. So running a couple of other races throughout the remainder of the year, but it does seem that things start to wind down in SimWorld as we start to approach the warmer weather here in Australia. Unfortunately, obviously with lockdown, that has impacted on that a little bit, but so don't be too surprised if a few other bits and pieces pop up here, but certainly over in New Zealand, you guys, if you're watching us from over there, doing a far better job of things than we are. So looking forward to tonight. As always, it's going to be a full-on race. We look like we've got a field of, what are we here, 26, 27. It's just had a couple of extras jump in there as well. So I think we're probably going to only have 4 heats potentially. We may squeeze 5 out of the group, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have 4. So 4 heats. As you know, the top 4 of those heats go straight through into the A main, the preferred line for the drivers to get right through to the main race at the end of the evening. And the remainder go into our B main or our second heat races. So fastest 2 of those 2 heats joining that A main grid at the end of the evening. So that's the goal for everyone. They want to get through into that A main. I can tell you in practice, Graham Smythe was the fastest with a 13.94, followed by Della and Maddie Jackson, a familiar front runner from this season. We got Michael Bullerman and Christian Hermansen following him up into the top 5. So plenty of the usual suspects in this one. And it's going to be a good run, I reckon. So we've got just on sort of just under 3 minutes, I should say, to go until we get started here. Thanks for following, Lachlan. Really appreciate the support. It's a good opportunity. We've actually been really, really quiet because of the action on track to be able to get a word in for all of the sponsors that support everything that goes on with the channel and with the guys at NZSR as well. So this one is brought to you by Simblacks. For all of your sim racing gear, if you're in New Zealand, this is the place to go to get yourself set up and get involved in iRacing. So they have the lot, so I am told. Obviously, unfortunately, not able to get across and have a look at that from Victoria, where I'm broadcasting to you from, but I can tell you that I have been told this is the place to go. So, got a few of the guys out on track now. Driver's briefing has finished, so just running around for that last minute. So we'll stick with them while I do a few bits and pieces. Thanks for the like there, Gavin. Appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. As we get ready to go running in this one. So yeah, Simblacks are the place to go. So if you're looking for sim gear, definitely get across there. Big shout out as well to the team at NZSR and Brayton, who give us the privilege of broadcasting this series on their behalf. I have been very quickly educated in, as we're just watching on board here with Brent Bulliman as he does some laps in pit lane, but I've been very quickly educated in the art that is midget racing, and it's been a breath of fresh air to bring it to everyone on our stream. Actually, I've really, really enjoyed commentating it, and looking forward to jumping back on board with NZSR next year and bringing that to you as well. Isn't it crazy? Already talking about next year. It feels like this year it never really got off the ground, but we're already there. Before that, thanks to our streaming partners as well. If you're in the market for a PC, Aftershock, your rig, your choice. They do ship around Australia. I'm not too sure about overseas yet, but they certainly ship around Australia. So if you're joining the broadcast locally, jump on board with them and help yourself to a computer. I believe they're pretty sold out on the new graphics cards and things like that at the moment, but certainly busy down there. And to Chris Purnell, Virtual Motorsport Mentor as well, to get yourself to go faster, whether it be dirt, track, oval track, or circuit racing. Chris Purnell and the team, Virtual Motorsport Mentor, are the place to go to get yourself to go quicker, as Bullyman just makes a little bit of a mistake there, but we've got the checkered flag, so we're going to start getting into our heat races here, which is what we want to see. This is where all the action happens. No yellow flags, straight running. I believe it should be an 8-lap race, and then when we get into the rest of it. Oh, my apologies. Of course, before that, we will get into qualifying. I've skipped way ahead in the evening on the schedule. Qualifying first, so 2 laps for the drivers to get themselves set into those groups. We'll be wanting to use, try and work out a little bit of the line. Be way too early in the track condition to work out any pace. You can see there the line quite low down in the track so far, so they'll run up high and try and find some grip first. Albeit we're on board here with Brent Bullyman. He is using a little bit of both. Just trying to work out what goes on there. So we'll go with most exciting. Thanks for the share there, Brayton, and thanks for all your work in getting this series up and running. Looking forward to continuing working with you next year. So the lap times are starting to come through here. Donnelly at the moment the fastest with a 14.04. Damon Moosh also a 14.04. So it's going to be tight up the front as you would expect. Just having a quick look through the list. The problem with so many cars trying to keep up with what is going on as we get through this fast 2-lap qualifying session. Damon Moosh still second, with Max Donnelly not able to improve on his time, neither Damon Moosh. We've got Brad Pascoe in third at the moment. Ben Wenger, who we have just jumped on board with, is pretty much the only driver left at the moment who can make an impact on our top order. He's done a 14.14 on that last lap around, moved himself up to 8th. Also got Jason Crawford, who will jump on board with now. He's done a 14.64 last time around, looking to improve that as we get through here. Fantastic looking car, that one. Is he going to improve on that at all? No, 15.13. So that is it for qualifying at this stage. Everyone else already run and done. So I'll bring you that breakdown, obviously, as we get into the heat races. Of course, if you are looking at getting into dirt racing, I would encourage you to join the NZSR series. Really well run and open to anyone that doesn't do anything silly, really. They run a category limit. So you've got every week we have 40 cars, albeit I believe that's oversubscribed now, maybe boosted up to 50 cars. But you do have a category limit, as Tyson Bryden has just jumped out on track, so we'll jump on board with him. But there is a limit there, so if you are interested in running, get involved. It's a good hour race worth of racing on a weeknight. Tyson Bryden popping that car into the top 10. Doesn't go for too long, and I think that's one of the appealing things of it, is you can get in, you can get a race in and done in under an hour, and still get on with the rest of your life outside of iRacing. So jump into or get in contact with us, and we can hook you up with Brayton and the team. There's a minute 3/4 left in qualifying. It may well get fast forward with most people already having done their laps. In fact, we've got Mitch Fabish now out on track. There's a couple of drivers leaving it reasonably late to get it done. It is solo track running, so there's no advantage to doing that. No disadvantage to doing it either. Tyler McCulkin, the kid, is the comment in the stream. No, apparently not. So we've got just under a minute to go. It'll click over then, and we'll get into the first of our heats. Just looking at the numbers, there's 30 cars in total, so we're going to be looking at 4 splits. I believe we had the conclusion of the National Series last night. Didn't see any of the results, but they will be going up at some stage. I'll have a look at those. Looks like Harry Stewart and Bradley Oldfield were in the ascendancy for that one, but at very close, 10 points apart. So interesting to see how that concluded. All right, so let's get into it here. We will bring up very quickly the grid for this one. Get that off the screen there. So we've got Donnelly, Smythe, Della, Wilson, Bulliman, Barbary, Jackson, Day, Hurd and Fabish. A few new names in the series up the top there, so welcome to tonight's race. I'm sure they will have run before in this one, a very popular and well supported category. So we're waiting for the pace truck to get underway. And this will not be a timed event, it will be laps, so let's get that fixed up and switched over for you so you know what's going on. As said, it will be an 8-lap run, I believe. Just waiting for the truck to get the go-ahead. Looks like everyone's out on track. So it will be Donnelly and Smythe looking to take this one away. Question, Dennis, actually, who is the kid? I'm not too sure either. Maybe Tyler can fill us in on that one. I have a feeling I know who it is, but I'm not going to make commitment just in case. So it'll be 8 laps on this one. Ready to go green. Pace truck will pull off in a minute and we'll be underway. It'll be Donnelly and Smythe taking us away here. Top 4 cars. And we're off and running. We've got 8 laps here to get this done. We're on board with Max Donnelly, Kane, Della, Bulliman. It looks like there's been an issue there potentially. Lachlan Barbary has moved a little bit further down to get through to the end of lap 1. It is Donnelly, Della, Bulliman, Wilson in those top 4 positions at the moment. Thank you very much for White Robinson, Antonio. We appreciate it. It is Donnelly, Della, Wilson and Bulliman at the moment. Great tonight at this track. I love the track. We've got an all-white car there as well, which is interesting to see. Will be our resetting itself, but nevertheless, Donnelly, Wilson, Della, Bulliman at the moment looking like they're going to be the ones to get this done. Hurd around about half a second behind. Pull this one so you can see a little bit more of what's going on. It is Donnelly, Wilson, Della and Bulliman. Very close between Hurd and Bulliman actually. Camera that's better. Let's jump on board with this one instead. What's going on? There's going to be any change. Still got 4 laps to go here. The front runners have set off into the distance. Nearly 2 seconds away came Della ahead of Bulliman, but it is Bulliman and Hurd fighting it out for that 4th position at the moment. Adam Day right behind them as well, so it's anyone's game. Lachlan Barbary's had an incident as well, so he is out of this one. He'll have to go through it the long way. Bulliman and Hurd still very, very close together here. And Bulliman there just getting a gap on Hurd. Looks like he turned in a little bit too hard there, Hurd, but Nathan's managed to keep it going and get the drive out of the corner. Final lap here. Who is going to get the job done? The corner to go. It does look like it's going to be Bulliman. He's just going to keep his nose in front here around the final bend. Across the line to sprint to the end, and it is Brent Bulliman. So Donnelly, Wilson, Della and Bulliman getting the job done, getting straight through to that A main, everyone else into the B main in about 15 minutes or so. Alright, let's have a look at this second grid here as we get into the second of our qualifying heats. So we've got Damon Moosh, Inslee, Wenger, King, Bulliman, Michael Bulliman that is, Cook, Edge, Black, Clark and Billy Hickey rounding out the 10 in the second of our heat races. So we'll just wait for this one to get underway. Okay, as the pace truck gets us underway here, a little wheelie there even, or a couple of wheelies there from Damon Moosh, just showing us what he can do on the rear treads. Quickest way around the track though, but exciting nonetheless. So Inslee, Mush, King and Wanga are the ones who are going to get us underway in our top 4 spots. Who's the money on if you're in the audience? Who is going to get the job done here to get through to the A main? Who's going to go around the long way? Let us know. Michael Bullyman on the fringe, sitting in 5th. Truck will pull in this time around, and we will be underway. There it goes. And here we go, off and running. Moosh, Inslee, Wanga, King getting us underway. All grouped together at the start, as you would expect, with some really, really good stuff at the start here. There's plenty of competition going on for 2, 3 and 4, I should say. Almost a full spin round there for King, I believe, in the background. Oh, there's been contact. There's been contact, and that has pushed King really wide. And he's dropped down the field now, so it's Moosh, Bullyman, Edge and Inslee at the moment who are in our top 4 positions. Real battles going on in the background there as Nathan Black has had a crash in the background. It's the car that gives us at least the best perspective on everything that's happening behind us. Bullyman, Inslee and Edge now fighting still. Cook not too far behind, so it's a 4-way battle for those last 3 spots through to the A main. Damon Moosh set away in the distance now, 1 second up the road. It's very, very close between Edge and Inslee. As you can see there, both choosing to run that low line. High line, Bullyman using that to his advantage. He's gapping them a little bit, ever so slightly. They're just not getting the drive that he needed to get, so it remains close. 4 laps to go. This time around, 3 now, I should say. And Jaden Edge getting underneath there. Settled a little bit between Bullyman and Edge. Inslee still there with Cook, who's going to finish inside the top 4. Pretty set at the moment between Moosh, Edge, Bullyman and Inslee. Cook now dropping over a second behind. So these 3 here in this close pack just need to get the job done without any touching. White flag here and they will get their way through. Play that long game. You want to get straight through. You don't want to be doing the other race, the B main race at all. Those 2 jobs as we get across the line here, and it is Moosh, Edge, Bullyman and Inslee making their way through to the A main at the end. For the rest of you, we will see you in a few minutes for your semi-final. Okay, let's get this third heat underway. We've got Pascoe, Hermanson, Bryden, Howell, Stove, Barker, McIntyre, Adams, and Crawford out on the grid now. It looks like Crawford may have dropped out, actually. So that is unfortunate. Jump back in here and have a look a bit more at this. So it will be Pascoe, Hermanson, Bryden, and Howell bringing us away. The truck will peel off this time around. Looking midgets at the front there as we get off and running. Pascoe, Bryden, Hermanson, Howell, Stove in 5th, Adams in 6th. Quite an open start here, plenty of room. Between the front 5 drivers, just giving one another heaps of room in fact. So 2 and 3 in the low line now, 2 in the high line, trying to find some speed on the track. Pascoe, Bryden, Stove and Hermanson currently in the top 4. Adams right on his heels as well, so this is not a any stretch of the imagination. Even between Bryden and Stove, the game is close. Murray Howell there having an incident, so he is going to have to find the long way through. We're on board now with Tyson Bryden. So we come round now. Third lap. Definitely one of our closer heats. Stefan Adams still in the background of Christian Hermanson. He's got to make sure that he gets the job done. We'll jump on board with him now because that's where the battle is. Half a second between the two of them. Get into our 5th lap. Here. He's still defending his position just half a second. So it's getting more difficult for Stefan Adams to get the job done. See there the amount of work that goes into the wheel to get these things to keep going, moving. Not getting the slide on there either, Hermanson. That would have cost him a little bit of time, and it does. But it does look like it's going to be himself. Stove, Bryden and Pascoe go through at the end of this one to the A main. Good clean driving from everyone there. Alright, as we do get into the first of our semis here tonight. This one here, we've got Hurd, Adams, King, Smith, or Smythe. My apologies. Barker, Hickey, Jackson and Crawford jumping onto the grid. Just bring that one up there for you so you can see them all gridded up. So the top 2 drivers in this one will head through. That's where they want to be. Positions 1 or 2 will get you through to that A main. We start to get things underway. About to get underway. 12 laps here to get into one more run for this evening. Hurd and Adams leading us away. And off and running we go. Adams, Smythe, Hurd, King, Barker, Hickey, Jackson and Crawford in this one. Hotly contested. Oh, and there's a touch there. Round he goes. Matthew Hurd. So he's got a lot of work to do now to rescue his night. Stephen Adams takes over command at the front of the pack. Smythe right on his heels though, a tenth between them. And there's a good gap back to Barker, Jackson, King and Hickey. But you really want to be in the top two here. It's not about the rest of them, it's about the front two. Smythe and Adams at the moment, of course, still 10 to go. Very, very much in the ascendancy. It looks like Smythe and Adams will get this one done at this very early stage. But still stuff can happen. Barker and Jackson not really closing the gap. Over a second in the pack now. Furious that these last one come to a premature close after leading this one. Thanks very much for the like there, Brad. Appreciate it. So 7 to go here, or basically 6 to go, I should say, as we get across the start-finish line again. And it is Graham Smythe from Stephen Adams. The drivers looking that they're going to go through. Gap between them and back to those following. Nearly 2 seconds now back to Caden Barker. The top there's given up for the evening. It's decided it's time to go home. We'll try and get that fixed between runs. Thanks for the follow, Skylar. Appreciate it. We've got 4 to go now. Two they're going to go through. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate the follow. Into the stream. Graham Smythe, Stephen Adams. Well and truly in command now. With, there you go. It's going to take a mistake for them not to finish. William, pity you're not out here running again tonight, mate. Obviously, work getting in the way. I'm just seeing you back out next season. Stephen Adams. Skylar, plenty of love in the viewers tonight. Appreciate it, as always. Final lap, going to come across the line. Got half a lap to go. Smythe and Adams will get comfortably through to our main. A race well driven by them, off from the start and running. So we've got Barker, Jackson, Hurd, King, Crawford and Hickey all eliminated. For this evening, they will be able to go and take their cars to the local car wash and get that underway. I'm just going to reload this overlay that we've got to try and get some of the results up on the screen. So in this one, I can tell you while that reloads, we've got Cook, Fabish, McIntyre, Wenger, Day, Howell, Black, Barbary and Clark in this one. Thanks very much for all of the likes at the moment, guys. Bo, Oldfield, appreciate it as well. Not gonna lie, I really don't know who the kid is from the chat. So if anyone can let me in on the secret, I would appreciate it. So apparently the kid's gonna put a clinic on, so he must be somewhere within this or the A main for that to come across. So again, we've got 12 laps here, top 2 to go through, and then we will get into the A main at the end of this. So stick around if you want to watch the A main. Maybe the kid will get in there, I'm assuming, given that he's going to put a clinic on. I bet he will be involved. So it will be Cook and Fabish to take us away here. McIntyre and Wenger behind them. Good to see some new names as well in our stream. Certainly we haven't broadcast some of these drivers before, so obviously just coming back for the final, which is great to see. Good track Lanier, actually. Pace truck has pulled off. We will get going for 12 laps here in the final of our consolidation races. And it is Cook and Fabish off into the front. definitely getting faster up higher. So the evening has progressed. Most of the drivers preferring the high line. Cook and Fabish right behind them there, so this is very closely contested at the moment. Obviously 11 to go, nearly 10 to go I should say. Very well driven there from Mitch Fabish. Running really close, but not too close. As Wenger unfortunately has had an incident, so he is out. So we've still got Cook, Fabish and Day all within 3/10 of one another, and then not far behind them is Barbary and McIntyre. So good group of 5 cars contesting for those front 2 spots. Still though, Cook and Fabish in the lead. Starting to gap out a little bit now. Day and Barbary still not too far behind to do something about it. Gonna have to get on with it though, 7 to go. Had an incident there with Clark and McIntyre. And that has got it loose. What's happening there? Cook has really slowed up. And Fabish now in the lead. Not sure if there was a touch there or not. I did not quite see it. But Cook slowed up, and now it's Fabish from Cook. And Barbary and Howell not too far behind. Howell moving up into 3rd. Less than a 10th between these two at the front. As you can see there, in fact, there's almost nothing in it. They've got to be careful not to take one another out. At the moment, it looks like they will make their way through to the A main, but you've got to be careful. Very easy running that close together to end up with a touch that can end both of your races. Got 2 laps to go. Yeah, absolutely, Gavin. The driving standard here tonight is absolutely fantastic. These guys, nice and close together. Doing a fantastic job as we're on our final lap now. Barbary here could. Oh, and there it is. That's exactly what we spoke about happening. And so what has that produced? Fabish Howell now in 1st and 2nd. There definitely was an impact there, and that has changed the result. So Fabish and Howell getting through there, but geez, only just. Could have been over for all of them. We could have seen a Bradbury there, but that has resulted in those 2 going through. So just advance the session here to the final. Good last session there, as we've got 24 drivers through now to the A main for this evening. Let's see if we can bring them up on screen for you now. It's going to be 40 laps tonight. So it is Donnelly, Moosh, Pascoe, Wilson, Edge, Bryden, then Della, Bullyman, Michael Bullyman that is, Devon Stove, Brent Bullyman, Alec Inslee and Christian Hermanson rounding out our front 6 rows. And then the second 6, Smythe, Fabish, Adams, Howell, Barker, Barbary, Jackson, Matty Jackson, Adam Day, Matthew Hurd, Dylan Cook, Leaf, Jason King, and Nathan Black rounding out our 24 in the A main. So you can see they're all gridded up and ready to go. And we've got that ticker across the top working again, so that's all good. Things playing their part this evening. So we'll go to jump on board with Pole Cinemax Donnelly here as the official pace truck gets itself underway. The 40 laps go by in the blink of an eye. Pace truck will pull in now and we'll get underway for our 40 lap A main feature brought to you by Sim Black. Soundware off, Moosh, Donnelly, Wilson and Bryden getting us underway. Yellow flags in this one. Coming back there from Devon Stove. He will make his way back to Brooklyn and out, but no yellow flag. Of course, we've got a big pack of cars as you'd expect right at the start of this one. Some low, some high, trying to find some pace. There isn't an emerging dominant line on the track. Wilson leading this one. Edge, Bryden, Donnelly, Della, Bulliman, and that is Michael Bulliman right behind him. Driver's doing a ripping job tonight. Damon Moosh, fastest man on the track at the moment. 15 shows front round. You're looking to generate a little bit more pace than that if you can. There was a little bit of an impact with a wall, a little bit further back in the pack there. Again, causing a caution period, which is guys doing what they do the best. Down, couple getting really close to that inside wall there as well. Every chance that you misjudge that and you end up end over end. Now has an issue a little bit further back. Has caused the first caution of the evening. So this will reset. Let's have a look at the incident. Very innocuous. That won't have ruined anyone's evening, which is good. The caution and get back underway. So, looks like there's a what it's telling me there. It's telling me that 3/4 of the field crashed. Clearly not correct. Just a little bit confused there with Mush getting ahead of the pace truck. Off and running again into lap 10, so we're a quarter of the way through here. Bryden, Wilson, Della, Donnelly, Bulliman. Oh, Wilson's had an issue here. He slides down the field. So Moosh and Bryden now still leading this one. Jaden Edge looks like he's had an issue further back in the pack. Christian Hermanson, Graham Smythe, so a few incidents a little bit further back in the pack, and it has pulled out the yellow flag again, the caution period. Maybe that one there caused by Hermanson. Let's have a look. You can see him now along the wall in the background, so not his day either. Way to pick up the pace truck. Hopefully we'll go green again in a minute. Back on the way. Now back. Mission block. The damage. Need to do some see there, Kane get up the outside on the roof here of Moosh's Midget. At the moment, currently running in 5th. In first place to Tyson. The blimp view here to just give you the best idea of how all of this looks. Satellite view. You can see how close they get to run into the wall as well there, so it's fantastic driving across the Sorry about the mic being quiet there, guys. That was actually just me sitting a little bit too far away from it. Struggle sometimes. You get distracted by watching the racing rather than telling everyone what's going on. So apologies for that. That's exactly what happened to me there. Just got involved in the battle. Jump back out the front now and have a look at Tyson Bryden. He's in the lead. Damon Moosh there, just slightly behind him. He's got a half a second gap. That's plenty at the moment. 18 laps to go. Moosh under pressure from Della and Bullyman. You can see them running there in the background. This is where the battle is at for second. And Moosh now losing another spot. So he's struggling a little bit. He's dropped 2 places over the last couple of laps. I'm wondering if something's happened to him there that slowed that up a little bit. He's back up in a second, but his lap times are slow in comparison with Della and to Bryden, of course, who he's battling with. So keep an eye on that, see if he goes any further down the field. There's a huge pack just here, 5 or 6 cars making their way further up the field. So it doesn't look like there's any specific line really starting on this track. Both drivers using high and low lines to try and get closed up very much so at the front here. Just 3 tenths between these two. You can see it right there. So they're really running that high line as the fastest on the track. We're going to say that's where it's gone. Right up against the wall. 13, 12 to go now. So really got to get this done. Get green flag running right to the end of this race. Oh, a little bit of a touch of the wall there for Della as well. That slowed him up. Once Menace Bryden's gone down low and he's going to cut across him here. He's going to get the job done and move out into the lead. Good move, a little bit of fortune. He's managed to get the job done as well with the slide low to high. Well, it takes a little bit of a touch of the wall just to slow that momentum down, and you're very, very exposed, particularly with a small gap between the two of them. 2 tenths at the moment. Della's going to try and do it to him. Is he going to get it done? No, just not quite able to carry the slide. Try it again here if you can. Running in the midfield, there's definitely no pace there based on what you can see. So Bryden and Della trying to make sure they take this one out. Very close together here. They're coming up on some slower traffic. Not really going to affect them too much, hopefully. But Bryden down in the low line. Della running out a real high line, which seems to be where it's at. 7 to go. 6 to go this time around. Obviously, you can tell maths is my strong point. But Bryden and Della, it's neck and neck here. We can't take our eyes off the screen to see anything else. Oh no, and there it is. Della, it's gone all wrong for him. And will that call out a yellow flag? I think it may do, as he's just getting belted around like someone who shouldn't be in the Mike Tyson fight. And he's managed to get it going in there. That car will be pretty second-handed, I imagine. What that means is that at this stage, Tyson Bryden is going to take this one out, I think. Moosh and Pascoe fighting over second and third. And look at them, it's only 3/10, 3 100 between them, a tenth, less than a tenth. The low and high lines here, 27.99 is what we're looking at. To see who is going to take second and third. We've got 3 laps to go, with 2 laps to go in a minute. I can tell you Bryden is 1 second up the road, so he's got the job done here. He's going to need to push too hard to maintain that gap as Moosh and Pascoe still fight it out. They're in some heavy traffic at the moment. That won't be helping them. G'day Patrick, thanks for joining the stream. You've joined it at the right time with 2 laps to go in our main. Oh, there's a touch there. And that is going to hurt. That is going to hurt a lot. So you can see a car actually rolling over in pit lane there. So it's Pascoe and Moosh jumping on board with Bryden here. He's going to take this win out around the back half of the circuit here. He's been up the front all night, so he's done a ripping job. Thoroughly deserves the win here. He's going to get it done. And does so. So congratulations to Tyson Bryden for his win this evening. Got Brad Pascoe in behind him and Damon Moosh taking out third as well. So a really solid result for those 3 drivers. So we should be joined now by our podium. We'll just wait for them to make their way down. As I mentioned earlier in our stream, this will actually be our last run for NZSR for a little while. Have a chat with the series organisers, but I'm sure there's more stuff in the works hopefully we can get involved with in the future, but things do wind down a little bit now this time of year for everyone. Start to get towards Christmas and all those other festivities that go on at this time of year. So for those of you who've joined us throughout this, thank you very much. Stage still just waiting for those drivers to jump into the booth. Give them another minute or so. Tomorrow night we do have something a little bit different. At 5 we've got retro gaming with Reese and Stu, which has kind of changed now. It's developed into just gaming with Reese, Stu and Chris. And I think we'll be doing some Rocket League tomorrow night. And that then gets followed on by Ants Car, where we've got the Car midweek speedway, which I'm looking forward to bringing to you as well. I believe Chris Purnell will join me in the combox for that one. And Thursday night, we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually bringing in the... I'll just drag these guys in. We're actually going to be replaying one of our Bathurst races from earlier in the year, obviously with Bathurst coming up. And I am joined at the moment by Brad Pascoe and Damon Moosh as well. Well done, guys, on your podium this evening.
Thanks for that. Yeah, cheers.
It was looked like there wasn't much of a single line on the track by the end of the A main there.
Yeah, I was just rattling the top, hoping that it just stuck, and luckily it did, and come back from not too good start at the start of the feature. And yeah.
Managed to make your way through and end up in second, I believe.
Yep, second. Yep.
Beautiful. And Damon as well, a good run from you. You struggled a little bit. The car seemed to drop off. You were leading quite comfortably and then ended up just losing a couple of places. We didn't see you. Was there any damage to the car on the way through, or?
Yeah, I kind of stood on it first corner, but I think that gave it a bit of damage, but it didn't feel too bad, but just when it went off, it just got a lot sketchier, and so I just thought just play it easy and we'll just run the bottom and try and get a podium for once.
Yeah, well, which obviously you successfully did, so that's good. And Michael, you've jumped in for some reason. Got a few words to say?
Braden told me to jump on, but I think it's about to do with the championship. So
My apologies, I didn't. I haven't got an updated point. So that then means that you've taken it out, have you?
we have to wait to confirm, but I was about 50 points in front, so fourth place sort of might have helped with that. So.
Oh, brilliant. Well, congratulations if that is the case. We was searching around for an updated point score this evening and couldn't find one, so well done if that is it and you've taken it out. That is a good result. And Tyson's jumped in. Getting a bit squishy in here. How are you, Tyson? Lost for words. So Tyson was the race winner tonight, so he did a good job there getting away with it at the end after some late damage as well. So ran a good race. You there, Tyson? No, I think he might have himself on mute. So yeah, but just to reconfirm there, so Tyson Bryden, we've got Brad Pascoe and Damon Moosh taking out the top 3 places tonight in this one. And I believe it's a congratulations as well to Michael Bulliman, who's taken out the development series. So that means he'll head up. I believe it's going to be next year now, is it, that you will head up into the national series on a Monday evening?
Yes. So fortunately enough, I've been running the last couple of rounds of the national series, but next year I won't be in the dev series, so gonna have to full-time concentrate on working setups to catch some of these United boys because they're bad fast at the moment.
Yeah, well, it's good. That's one of the things I like about this as well, is that there is that promotion element to the development series as well. That's why it's there, and we still get a full grid every single week. I saw in the chat last week there were complaints that there weren't enough spaces for drivers to come and run, so it's a really well supported series, which is fantastic. And obviously thanks to Simblacks for their participation in supporting it, and obviously for Brayton for putting on the whole thing as we move to close out the season. I guess starting out with you, Michael, as the champion, anyone to thank for the season?
Definitely have to thank the Sydney Crash crew. It was good to see that all the boys made the feature tonight, so that was one of our goals. Wasn't actually to win the championship. The goal was to just get all the drivers into the feature for one of the dev rounds, so that was a good effort. So I'd like to thank Brent, Lath, Matt, Jaden, Adam, Daniel, Luke, all the other boys that are Will Lucas, all the boys that have been running in the Sydney Crash Crew stuff, Alan Day Motorsports, QuickTime Titanium Parts, B8 Fab Australia, Morton May Wheels, and lastly Simblacks for running as a major sponsor for the series, Brayton for obviously doing the broadcast for doing the officiating every single week and making sure that the event runs smoothly, and of course you for Stuart for running the broadcast every week for season 3.
It's my pleasure, mate. Congratulations. Big list of sponsors there. Great to hear. Obviously them getting involved in your real life racing as well as your sim racing is fantastic to hear. So congratulations on a job well done. Brad, jump on. Actually, I think Tyson may actually have got his stuff working there. Tyson, you're on mute at the moment if you wanted to jump in.
Yep, there you go. You should have me now.
Beautiful, mate. Yep, thanks for getting that fixed. So obviously, congratulations on the win tonight. A little bit of a close finish there at the end with some bumping and rubbing, but you managed to get through and take out the win.
Yeah, no, it was a close one there with Kane and obviously Mushy at the start there. It was a great battle. I guess, yeah, it was a good event. Thanks for hosting it for us there, Stuart. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. It's all new to me.
No, you're right, mate. And any sponsors there that you want to give a shout out to for supporting you through the season?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to thank myself really for trying to put all this team together. No, not really. Like we've just had obviously this new paint scheme we just released yesterday, and obviously B Firm Energy, they've come on board with us, which is really good of them. And then obviously Perth Free Services, they've been with us since day one of our career. So yeah, no, that's about it.
No, fantastic. And Brad, what about yourself, mate? The shopping list to thank.
Yeah, just dad, mum, yeah, myself.
No, yeah, good. I love it when mum and dad get a mention, as they should. Beautiful. And then last but not least, Damon.
Yeah, well, I guess I better thank everyone. Just Brad, just helping me out with how to basically drive these things. Just only recently started, so yeah, couldn't thank him. And I'd thank Brayton for putting this on. It's been good fun, and you for live streaming so we can watch it.
No dramas at all. It's my pleasure. And absolutely a big shout out again to Brayton for all of his efforts. He runs a fair few series, and we definitely appreciate being able to broadcast on behalf of NZSR or New Zealand Sim Racing. It's been our pleasure, and looking forward to coming back and doing it again next year with the development series, and hopefully as well the GT3 series that we were invited to look after to start off with. I really enjoy the full grids and the close racing you guys put on, so congratulations and well done. That does bring us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. It's a short one tonight. We've got Oz Pro-Am on holidays, and we're going to enjoy the couple of weeks off as well before we get back into that one for the run to the end of the year. So I might be back a little bit later on with some other bits and pieces. Otherwise, join us tomorrow for Anne's Car from 7:30, and we do have a little bit of Rocket League from 5 o'clock as well. That's Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And other than that, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks for your participation in the crowd, and we will catch you next week.
Thanks, Stuart.